Hi everybody, it's me, Bree, back to you with another bump date video. I made a list of notes for this one. I didn't do one last week, even though I just told you in my last bump date video that I'm going to try and be better about doing weekly bump dates. But honestly, there's not always enough happening, or that has happened in just a week's time for it to really be worth a whole bump date video. I really wanted to make sure that I'm giving you guys quality content and that you're not just watching something that I just talked about in my last video. So Aiden is napping right now. There's a lot of noise outside. I'm in my room trying to film. Aiden is, of course, rolling around now. I'm gonna try and get through as much of this as I can. They are rebuilding my deck outside of my apartment, so it's super noisy. I'm surprised Aiden has even been able to sleep through any of this, so I'm really happy. But let's just jump right in. And I'm 35 weeks. It's my 35-week bump date. So symptoms now. I feel like I am experiencing more symptoms. I am craving French toast, which is like the weirdest thing. Just because I just feel like it's so random. I really wanted French toast on Mother's Day, but unfortunately everywhere that was doing takeout, like curbside service, was just so heavily impacted. We couldn't get it anywhere. So I haven't had it. And then from 8 to 5 all of this week, we have little or no access in or out of my apartment because they're rebuilding my deck. So I still haven't had my French toast, and I'm sure once I have it, I'll stop craving it, but I am crazy craving French toast. I am also having cramping now. It's not anything crazy, and it's not anything to be worried about, but I am having some cramping now, just way down low. I am 35 weeks, so I'm getting pretty round, and I'm having back pain just during the day, but also sleeping. I'm really uncomfortable, and usually by the time I wake up in the morning, I've tossed and turned most of the night, and my back is hurting pretty bad. I am also talking about cravings, going back to cravings, on the other side, because French toast isn't very healthy. I am craving fresh vegetables. Like, I don't want to eat them raw. I want to like saute them in a pan, but I had like fresh zucchini that I got, and I want to go and get some more fresh vegetables. We've just been really cautious about like going to the store and how much we're getting out and things like that. So we've really limited a lot of our trips. And I think I did mention in my last bump date video that I was experiencing Braxton Hicks contractions. Those are still happening. For those of you who aren't super familiar with Braxton Hicks, it's kind of like practice contractions. It's almost like false labor in a way. So basically they're not painful, but you can like very obviously feel like your whole belly like really tighten, and it's pretty uncomfortable, but it doesn't hurt necessarily. So those have been happening. I did just have my 35-week appointment, and I actually had an in-office visit for this one. My last one was just digital. It was virtual through an app, so I did it on my phone. But this one was in the office, and I didn't realize I was having a cervix check. And so that caught me off guard. I think I was around 37 or 38 weeks when I was pregnant with Aiden, when I had my first cervix check. And I didn't have another one until I was actually laboring with him. And then I had him the next day. And so it was just it was just one time in the doctor's office. And then the next time I had another cervix check, I was already laboring and all of that. So it's not comfortable. It hurts. It's a lot of pressure. And so I have been a little extra crampy the past couple of days because of my cervix check. I am also pretty sensitive. So even like if I just get a pap smear, I'll be kind of spotting and bleeding a little bit. So definitely from this cervix check, this was 2 days ago, and I am still spotting just a teeny tiny bit. So that's been a little uncomfortable. But my blood pressure is good. My belly measurement is good. I have gained about 25 pounds in this pregnancy, which is just about the same as when I was pregnant with Aiden, but I am a lot less swollen. If I go on a walk and it's kind of a hot day, I'll notice that my fingers or my toes are getting a little puffy, but I think because I'm not working right now, I'm not experiencing a whole lot of swelling. And also Aiden is an August baby, and we broke records that year for how hot it was, how many 100+ degree days we had in a row. So I was really, really swollen even this time in my last pregnancy. So I will take the not no swelling. I am swelling a little bit, but very little. I am a little bit dilated. She just said a fingertip dilated. So, I mean, a half an inch. So nothing too crazy, but I mean, I wouldn't want to be too dilated right now, only 35 weeks. I'm about 35 and a half weeks. So we still have a little over 4 weeks to go. So I don't want to be too dilated. But I am 80% effaced already. And usually like when you're at 100% is like when you are ready to deliver. So I am a fingertip dilated, 80% effaced, and she said my cervix is soft like butter. But she's really happy with where I'm at. She said what we don't want to hear is that everything is hard and tight and nothing's really moving along. So it's a good thing that things are starting to happen now. I am going to be having weekly appointments now. I believe my next one is also an in-office visit. Some of them are in office, some are through the app on my phone. It just depends. I know that I have a cervix check if I make it to 39 weeks. I have a cervix check at 39 weeks. I don't know if I'm going to be checked again between now and then though. For now, it's looking like I'm still going to be allowed one support person in the hospital, no visitors though. So I think once I deliver, that'll be it. No more support person, no visitors. So I think like just the healing time when I'm in the hospital, I'll be on my own, but that's okay. A lot of people now that I am getting so close to my delivery day, I'm just about a month away from my scheduled due date. A lot of people have been asking me what the plan is for dads and baby. I am a surrogate for a same-sex couple. They live in another country. So because of the pandemic, there is a travel restriction, and so a lot of people have been curious about what's going to go on with that. I've kind of touched on that a little bit before, but just kind of like to reiterate, only one of the dads is planning on coming anyway. Only one can come. So there was already that. My agency wanted them to get here as soon as possible, but now it's looking like he's not going to be able to get here until the baby is born, and their names are on the birth certificate and it's showing like proof of parentage. And so hopefully at that point, having the birth certificate will be enough to get him here, but it's not looking like he is going to be able to get here before then. So for now, I don't think he's going to be here for delivery, and Austin will be my one support person for labor and delivery. The hospital that I'm going to be delivering at has worked with my agency, my intended parents, and their lawyers and everybody to create a plan and try and get the necessary paperwork that they need. So they have somebody set to care for baby while baby is in the hospital, and then they have a nanny service who will take care of baby after he is discharged from the hospital. So I will not be taking care of baby. I mentioned that a couple of times in some of my different videos, but I think now more and more as things are getting closer, and you know, things change all the time, so I totally get just being curious and wanting to know what's gonna happen after a baby is born. So that's the plan. I am planning, they would like me to supply breast milk, which that's something that we have talked about since the very, very beginning in our match meeting before we were even officially matched and like agreed to work together, is we mutually wanted to supply breast milk. I don't have a lot of details about who is caring for baby in the hospital and when he is discharged, so that will maybe be a little bit of a challenge, but I'm not sure, but we'll see. I don't know if baby will be local or where he will be, so I may have to just freeze it and store it. And then there are services like you can like send it in a cooler and do like 1-day shipping. I don't know, we'll have to figure that out when the time comes. I'm not getting too stressed out about it. We still have time, and I'll just plan on pumping, and that'll be that. We have also been talking more and more about like care for Aiden. He's about 1.5 years. He'll be 2 in August. So hopefully, if everything goes according to plan, my mom will be here. She actually lives out of state, but she is flying in at the end of the month. She originally was flying in because it was going to be my sister's high school graduation, which has been canceled, but she's keeping her trip planned and scheduled how it was. So her flights have been moved around a bit because of the pandemic, but she's still planning on being here. I'll be right around 38 weeks when she gets here. So I'm hoping that she'll be here for about a week. I'm hoping I will deliver baby when my mom is here, and she is going to be staying with us. So it will actually be pretty perfect if that is the case, because then Aiden won't have to get like uprooted, especially if it's the middle of the night. Like, we won't have to bring him anywhere. We won't have to wait for somebody to get here before we can go to the hospital. We don't have to worry about any of that. My mom will be here, and when I'm laboring and we gotta go, we can go. My husband Austin and I can go, and we don't have to worry about it. And Aiden can, if it is the middle of the night, he can just keep on sleeping and he'll wake up with grandma, and that'll be that. Or it'll be during the day and he'll just hang out with grandma, and mommy and daddy will be back after we have baby friend. So that's the plan. I still have to talk to some family about a backup plan. I don't have a 110% set in stone backup plan, so I still need to work on that, but I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that we won't need a backup plan. But yes, I will have a backup plan. I do also now need to pack a hospital bag, which I think I'll make a whole separate video just of my hospital bag, but I'm curious if you are a surrogate, what you brought in your hospital bag, because obviously you don't have to worry about anything, like even clothes for baby. It's just kind of comfort items for yourself. So if you are or have been a surrogate and you have packed your hospital bag, or you have already been through this process before, I would love to know what you brought in your hospital bag. I'm obviously planning on bringing clothes. I think I'll just be in the gown that they give me when I get admitted to the hospital. So while I'm there, I'll just be in the gown, and I might change into something comfier if I feel like it. Like I'll bring in maybe 2 or 3 pairs of clothes and go from there. I'm hoping I'm not going to be in the hospital for long. I think we stayed, and I can never remember for sure now because I feel like it was such a blur, but after Aiden was born, I think we stayed for 2 nights after that. But I was having a hard time with breastfeeding in the beginning and getting Aiden to latch and get enough milk. And it wasn't until after we were discharged from the hospital that I learned it was a me thing, and I needed those, I can't remember what they're called exactly now, but it's like a little plasticky, rubbery, it's a nipple shield. It goes on, that's exactly what it is. It's a nipple shield, and it kind of almost looks like a pacifier a little bit. Like you put it on and it's kind of extends, and so it helps baby latch, and it made a world of a difference. I had no problem breastfeeding after that. I breastfed for 6 months, and everything was fine after I did that. But I don't have to worry about bringing that because I'm not breastfeeding. I am just going to be pumping. So I'm thinking maybe I'll bring my hand pump, but the hospital should have a hospital grade pump in case I need it, which I will. Other than that, I'll definitely bring like my iPad, my phone, my AirPods, and the chargers, of course, just for like entertainment, maybe a book. Of course, I'll bring like deodorant, toothbrush, toothpaste, a brush, some hair ties. I think I'll bring makeup maybe for like discharge day, depending on how I'm feeling, and makeup wipes if I happen to go into labor like during the day and I already have makeup on and I want to take it off. I am on the fence about bringing like little shampoos and conditioners and body wash. I didn't when I was pregnant with Aiden and I had him. But I think it would be nice. Like I washed my hair that night that I went into labor and put my hair in braids, and I kept them in braids until, like I didn't even touch my hair until we were going to be discharged from the hospital. So that morning I took a shower and I just put my hair in a bun. But it might be nice just to kind of like feel a little more human if I am able to like wash my hair. And I don't know. We'll see how prepared I am, because if I'm prepared and I remember to buy travel size shampoo and conditioner, I'll just throw it in my bag. But if I don't, then I just won't bring any. I'm really hoping that I'm only going to be in there for like a day. I mean, they really just have to monitor me and make sure that I'm doing okay. They don't have to do any monitoring like for me and baby to be discharged at the same time. Like I'm separate from baby. So I'm hoping if everything goes smoothly and I have a vaginal delivery, again, I don't have to have a C-section, there's no complications, no hemorrhaging and things like that, then I hope I'll be able to go home within a day or so. I am starting to prepare. So I just bought like 4 or 5 pairs of pants that are like a size bigger than I normally would get, just because I know I'm not going to fit into my regular pants right away, and I'm not going to be taking too long of a maternity leave, so I need to make sure that I have pants that fit, 1, just in general, but 2, for when I go back to the salon, I need to make sure I have, we wear pretty much all black at work, so I need to make sure that I have professional appropriate work clothes. So I ordered a bunch of pants. I only ordered 1 t-shirt. I need to look around some more and find some shirts. I'm just having a little bit of a hard time because I like kind of the loose shirts for like postpartum, like right after I have baby. I don't want anything too form-fitting. Obviously you're not gonna like, most people don't just like shrink back right away. So I need to find some more shirts. I still have some of those like just cheapy underwear that I don't normally wear, but that I bought specifically for after I had Aiden, and that are just like bigger underwear, not like little thongs or anything, that can support like bigger pads. So I do need to buy some bigger pads. I need to start preparing and getting like, I think it's called Dermoplast or something like that, that numbing spray in a can. I need to get the witch hazel pads. Those were like seriously a lifesaver when I had Aiden. So I need to start doing some things like that, buying more comfortable bras and doing stuff like that. So if you guys have favorite comfy bras, I'm not really interested in anything with like an underwire, because I want to feel comfortable, and I am going to be pumping. I don't think I need like a specific nursing bra. I just need something that's going to be easy to like pull down or something like that. And the hospital is also, I mean, this is a different hospital. It's not the same one that I delivered Aiden in. So I'm assuming that they are going to provide things like the disposable mesh underwear, like when I'm in the hospital, and the ice packs and things like that. The squirt bottle, the magic squirt bottle. And if they don't, I can always go out and buy that stuff if I don't get to take it home or whatever the case is. But I have also been thinking, I've been following, I think it's called BUMPDATE on Instagram, and I don't have any of their products. They have belly wraps, and I think they suggest wearing them for like up to like 6 to 10 weeks after having baby, like putting them on pretty much immediately, and it helps with healing and like shrinking back down. It gives you a lot of support and things like that. So I didn't wear one when I had Aiden, and I definitely do feel like I was like very soft, very squishy, and I didn't even attempt to work out in the first 6 weeks. Like I wasn't cleared yet. Like you have to be medically cleared from your OB. And then even after that, I only had 2 more weeks with Aiden before I went back to work. So I didn't really go to the gym and things like that. So I'm thinking that a belly wrap might be good just because I am not going to have a lot of time off before I go back to work. So I'm thinking that that might help me with support and like shrinking back down, and then I'll get back in the gym when I'm cleared. Personally though, not a lot has changed in our personal, just like day-to-day life. Austin, my husband, his office has permanently closed. So I think he had been working from home since maybe the last week in February, I think it was. And then they actually, there's like the owners, and then there's some family that works for them and like people that started the company with them. So there's like the main people, and then they have employees under them, and they had to lay off everyone except for my husband because of the pandemic. And I know so many people had to go through that, but he was lucky enough to be able to keep his job, but it was only that way for a couple of weeks. And then actually I think they got that grant or a loan or something, and they were able to hire back everyone that they initially had to lay off. So for now they have their full team like normal, but they did permanently close their office. So even though they have their full team, it doesn't matter like what restrictions are lifted when, and anything with the quarantine, like it doesn't matter. There's no office to go back to. So he works from the kitchen table. And the salon that I work at is still closed. I actually have a meeting coming up with my boss and the girls from the salon though. So I'm hoping that we will get some reopen information soon. But for now, we are still temporarily closed until further notice. So you know, the more time that goes on, it's looking less and less like I'm going to be back in the salon before I was going to be gone for maternity leave anyway. I haven't talked to my intended parents about this specifically since I was only 28 weeks. So it's been a while since we've touched base, but at that time they didn't want me going back to work because at that time we were talking about the salon, you know, me just taking 2 weeks away and then going back, and then, you know, things have been extended and whatnot. So at that time, my intended parents preferred that I not go back to work before delivering baby. I don't know if that's still the case or if they've changed their minds and they're okay with it. We will have to touch base when that time comes, but really it's all just kind of hypothetical until the salon reopens. So hopefully in our meeting coming up, we get some information about reopen dates, and then I'll be able to touch base with my intended parents again, and then I'll have a set in stone plan. Like, yes, I'm coming back until my scheduled maternity leave. Like, I'm still gonna go out when I was planning to at the end of the month, or no, I'm not going to be back until I was scheduled to come back in like mid-July. And Aiden's school is also was closed. They just did a soft reopen this week. I think they have 15 students that are in the program right now. And it's going, when he goes back, I'm thinking it's going to be about mid-July. And so we're just paying like a smaller price to like save his spot, basically. That's what we've been doing since they closed. The only reason he would go back before that is if I go back to work. But if I don't go back to work before I deliver the surrogate baby, then he's not going to go back to school. We're just going to keep him at home and just pay that little amount to hold his spot, so that mid-July, when I do go back to work, he can go back to school. But that's it, you guys. I say that's it like it was just a little bit of information. It was a lot of information this time. I had a lot to update you guys with, and I'm starting to feel more and more ready. Like, okay, I just kind of want it to get here now. Like, I'm starting to get like a little bit anxious. I'm starting to, you know, prepare, and like I was buying pants and things like that. Like, I'm starting to get ready for delivery, and I'm starting to get ready for after delivery. And so I'm just kind of like, I kind of want it to happen already, but also I'm just trying to like slow down. I haven't gone on my walks at all this week. I'm just trying to kind of like take it easy. I definitely want to try and make it at least to like my 38-week mark, and my mom is in town, so we'll see how it all goes. Really quickly, I'm washing all of my bedding, so I'm sorry that I don't have the bed made right now, but I didn't want to forget to do the bump shot. All right, you guys, that is it for this video. I will make sure that I keep doing updates for you guys, and when I pack my hospital bag, I will do a hospital bag video as well. Please, 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 please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you like hearing all of my bump dates, and if you enjoy watching my videos. If you do want to see a specific video, just leave it in the comments below, and I'll make sure that I get that to you guys. Bye.